Is the font size? Now, can all of you read the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let's start with this question only today. So who will help me? Hiba, are you there? Hiba. So the female, Hiba, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So you will help me, okay? I'll follow your lead. So it says there are two parents. One is the female. Tell me the genotype possible for the female, the woman with blood group O. If she has O blood group, which means she is recessive for both, right? Then only it can be O. You understand, Hiba? It is IO, IO, correct?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? Yeah. And it is crossed with the male husband with the AB blood group. So what will be the genotype, Eva? IAIB. Understand? This is the only possibility for AB. Now here it is codominance, right? Yes or no, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now in the
Yes, sir.
progeny, you have to first figure out what will be the different gametes. So you have to make a Punnett square. So for female, the different gametes can be IO and IO only, right? And for male, the different gametes can be IA and IB, right? So the first child will be IAIO. What is the blood group of the first child?
A.
A. Second will be IBIO. The blood group?
B.
The third will be IAIO. Fourth will be IBIO. What is the blood group of third and fourth? A and B respectively, right? So the first question is asking, work out the possible phenotypes and genotypes of the progeny. So this is the progeny F1. Now tell me how many phenotypes are there?
2.
Two total phenotypes, right? One is A blood group and the other phenotype is B group. And what is the ratio?
2:2.
Yes, 2:2. Now let's go to genotype. How many different genotypes are there?
2.
Again, 2, right? Either this genotype is there or either this genotype is there. Is there any other genotype? No. And the ratio again is 2:2, right?
Yes,
So you
sir.
understand the first part of the question? The second part tells, discuss the kind of dominance in the parents and the progeny in this case. So talking about parent first. So this is a parent which has what kind of dominance? So this parent has what dominance does this parent has?
Codominant.
Yes, so the parent has codominance. The male has codominance. And this one? In this case, there is no dominance, right? Because both
Yes,
are
sir.
recessive alleles. Tell me in the progenies, what kind of dominance is there? In all the four progenies, one allele is dominant over the other, right?
Yes.
Yes. So progenies have complete dominance. You understand there is no codominance in progenies because there is no blood group AB in the progenies. Is question 2 clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So in the progeny, there is complete dominance. In the parents, there is codominant in the male parent. Yes? Was it?
Yes.
Please note down this answer. If anyone could not figure out the right answer, please note this down. And let me know when you're done, quickly. and also there was another question. Question number C, right? Is this done, everyone? Shall we move forward? Atif, Hanifa, Hiba, is this done?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so the another question was this one, question number 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's also discuss this. Can everyone see the question?
Yes.
So how will you find out whether a given plant is homozygous or heterozygous? So this is noted, everyone. I'm moving forward, okay? Now, I told you, did we discuss that if a plant is homozygous, then what will be the phenotype for the plant? First, tell me this. Capital T, right? Or it can be small t and small t, right? These are the two possibilities for homozygous. And for heterozygous, it can be capital T, small t, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, the point is, we do not need to identify this. This is easily identifiable because this is a recessive trait. So it will be dwarf. So you look at the plant will look dwarf, and you can identify it as small t, small t. There is only one possibility when the plant can be dwarf, correct? So this is sorted. The problem lies with this one and this one, because when you look at these two, when you look at capital T and capital T small t, can you figure out just by looking what will be the phenotype? Both the plants will be tall, right? There will be no difference in the height. Yes or no?
Yes.
So can we figure out the genotype of a homozygous and heterozygous but just by looking at tall? No, right? But what can we do is, remember this first cross that we did, capital T with capital T small t? So if this is crossed with a homozygous recessive, this plant will be tall and this plant will be dwarf. Now we do not know, let's say, we do not know this genotype yet. But when we will cross, and suppose if this is the genotype, after cross, what will happen? If this is the parent, then what will happen in the F1 progeny? Tell me. All the plants will be capital T and small t, right? Yes or no? Do you understand how people? On one side it will be capital T, on other side it will be small t, small t. So all will be capital T, small t. Do you understand? People, say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So all will be tall in the F1 if we start with this genotype, even if we do not know what the genotype is. Now let's see what happens when we do the other one. Let's say this is there, and I cross capital T small t with again homozygous recessive parent. So this is the parent generation. Now, can anyone tell me what will happen in the F1? Please make the cross and tell me. So in this, all will be tall. What will happen in this case? Quickly. Hanifa, I need the answer from you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Anifa, tell me.
It would be tall.
Tell me, what should I write here?
The capital T and small t.
Capital T and small t, right? And on this side,
The two small t's.
small t, small t. So what will be the progenies? This one will be
Capital T and small t.
this one,
Capital T and small t.
this one,
Small t
and
small t and small t.
yes. So what is the phenotype? Two of them are tall, right? They will be tall.
The rest are dwarf.
And two will be dwarf. So the ratio will be 2:2 for tall and dwarf, right? The phenotypic ratio. If the parent is heterozygous and you cross it with a homozygous recessive parent, in the next generation you will get half tall, half dwarf. If the parent is homozygous and you cross it with a homozygous recessive, in the first generation you will get all the tall. So this way we can tell whether the parent was homozygous or heterozygous without even looking at the genes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And this cross is known as test cross because we do it to test the genotype. Okay, this is also test cross. So a test cross is crossing with a homozygous recessive plant. Okay. You can cross with homozygous recessive and get to know what is the genotype, whether it's homozygous or heterozygous. Please note this down and write down what is a test cross. A genetic cross done to figure out or to find out genetic cross done to find out the genotype of the dominant character, whether it is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant. Whether it is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, by crossing it with a homozygous recessive plant. Okay, homozygous recessive plant. Is it clear, everyone? Yes, Atif, Hanifa? Okay, very good. Written? Everything noted down, Atif?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these were the two questions that were very Like you just need to pay some attention. It was easy, not very difficult. Now, in the last class, we did homologous chromosome linkage. Okay, we did the linkage, homologous chromosomes, Gliotropy, and polygenic inheritance, right? So quickly, give me a quick recap. Who will give? Atif, let's start with you. Are you there? Tell us about homologous chromosome. What are they? What are sister chromatids? What are non-sister chromatids? Just as a revision. Atif.
Yes, so homologous chromosomes are chromosomes which are like very similar. They have the same length, same centromere position, staining pattern, etc.
Yeah, they're not similar. They're the same chromosomes. They're just coming from different sexes, right? One from the mother and one from the father.
Yes, sir.
But they are the same chromosome. That's why they have everything same. Yes, right. Yes, continue.
Yes, so the chromatids of the chromatids of two homologous chromosomes are known as non-sister chromatids, and the
Yes.
variation takes place due to the crossing over of non-sister chromatids in homologous chromosomes. And then these form recombinant these form the parental combinations and the recombinant traits.
You understand why there are recombinant traits? Because at this chiasmata, which is the crossing over bridge, there is exchange of genetic material happening, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we get two parental types, non-recombinant chromatids, and the other two are recombinant chromatids. Okay. Yes, continue. Let's talk about, this is the formula. What is the relationship between linkage and recombination?
Yeah, linkage is inversely proportional to recombination. So the closer the genes are, the less recombination has a chance to happen.
Yes, perfect. Now, what is polygenic inheritance?
So polygenic inheritance is like when multiple genes decide what a single character will look like. For example, this can be seen in the human height and human skin color. In human skin color, four genes are responsible. That is A, B, C, and D. So
Yeah,
if
we are
all are
assuming this. Okay. This we assumed. So you can assume it to explain in the exam, no problem. You do not need to know the name of the genes because that's not given anywhere. So let's assume there are four genes. Then what happens?
we can assume there are four genes, then depending on whether these genes are dominant or recessive, different skin colors can be formed. The like all For example, if all are dominant, then the darkest skin is formed, and if all are recessive, then the lightest skin is formed. And depending
Yeah.
on the different genes between those, there are different there's like a gradient of skin color.
Yes, perfect. And finally, we talked about pleiotropy, right? What was that?
Yes, a pleiotropy is when a single gene can exhibit or influence multiple phenotypic expressions.
Uh-huh.
An
Okay.
example, an example for this we can see in the disease that is phenylketonuria, which occurs due to mutation in a single gene that codes for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. And then this disease causes mental retardation, reduction in hair pigment, reduction in skin pigment. So even though it codes for an enzyme, it also causes these problems, which suggests that it is a pleiotropic gene.
Yes. So if it is causing mental retardation, it is affecting the nervous system, right? If it is causing reduction in hair pigment, it is affecting the hair follicles, right?
Yes, sir.
And here it is affecting the skin layer. And all these three are very different systems, correct? So if one gene is causing all these effects in very distant, like unrelated systems, then it is a proof that it is a pleiotropic gene. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. And then we did this. Now today we have to start with this concept of sex determination. So the genetic sex determination is a interesting concept in biology, and you already know about humans, right? So the first you have to study that we have already done in previous chapters is humans. Now tell me, how does sex determined is in humans? Through sex chromosomes, right? What are the
Yes.
sex chromosomes? It can
XX
either
for
be,
females and XY in males.
yes, but the chromosome can either be X or it can either be Y chromosome. So these two are together known as sex chromosomes, or they are also known as allosomes, right? Not autosomes. And this is the 23rd pair in humans, remember? Yes. And we know
Yes.
that if it is X and X, it will give rise to female, and if it is X and Y, it gives rise to male. So if you see, males are heterogametic, right?
Yes.
In humans, males are heterogametic. What does the word hetero means?
Two different gametes.
Yes. So they can form one gamete which carries X with other chromosomes, and one gamete which carries Y with other chromosomes, right? So if I write it properly, let me write it like this. So it can make one gamete which is 22 plus X, right?
Yes,
22 chromosomes plus X, or 22 chromosomes plus Y. So these could be the two different gametes. Females, human females are homogametic, which means they only form only one type of gamete, which is 22 chromosomes plus X chromosome. So is it clear?
Yes.
Now this type of sex determination that happens in human is known as XY system. Okay, this is what we have studied till now. Now we are going to study some other systems as well. For example, there is another different system. So this XY system happens in humans and also happens apart from humans. It happens in, write down, also in Drosophila. You know what is a Drosophila?
Yes, sir.
Fruit fly. I told you about this, right? This is where Morgan did all the experiments to find linkage. Yes.
Yes.
So in Drosophila also there is XY system. Males are XY and heterogametic, and females are XX and homogametic. But it's not true always. Like there is another system which is present in chicken and some birds, which is called ZW system. Okay. In this, the females are heterogametic. So if it is ZW, then it will be a female chicken. You understand? And female here is heterogametic, not male. Do you understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
In ZW system. Now, how can you remember it? This W is for woman. So female, the chicken that has W is the female, the woman of that species. And males here are ZZ. That is a male chicken. And in this case, males are homogametic. So if I ask you, in chicken, who's responsible for the sex of the child? Father or the mother?
Mother.
Exactly. Female chicken is responsible for the sex of offspring. Okay, is this system clear? ZW system?
Yes.
Please Please note this down. In humans, the male is responsible. Let me know when you're done. These two are very simple, you know. One is homogametic, one is heterogametic. These are genetic, and the sex is determined on the basis of chromosomes. Now, there is the third system that you have to study, and a lot of question comes from that system, which is sex determination in honeybees. Is this written? Noted down? Shall I move forward?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the third that we have to study is sex determination in honeybees. Now, before we go to sex determination in honeybees, let's understand a few things about them. Tell me, what are honeybees? Where do honeybees live? Have you anyone else? Yes, Hanifa. Tell me. Yes, so honeybees lives in beehives, right?
Yes.
And they are social organisms. What do you mean by social organisms?
They are not independent. They live together and work together.
Yes. So in a beehive, there is a division of labor, division of work, right?
Yes.
So in a beehive, tell me. So in a beehive, how many types of bees are there? You know, there are 3 types of bees that lives together. Can anyone tell me what are the 3 types?
Queen, worker, and drone.
Yes, perfect. So the first is queen bee. How many queen bees are there in one hive?
One.
Yes, single per hive. So in one hive, there is only one queen bee. And what is the sex of the queen bee? It is a female bee, right? That's why it's called
Yes.
queen bee. And it is the only fertile female in the hive. So only queen bee can lay eggs. Is it clear?
Yes.
See, all the eggs laid in a hive, basically all these proteins come from queen bees. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
The second type of bees are worker bees. What is the sex of the worker bees? They are males or females?
Female.
Yes, they are also female bees. But what is the difference? They are all sterile. They cannot reproduce and they cannot lay eggs. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, all the worker bees cannot lay eggs because the reason for this is that the queen bee regulates the worker bees' reproductive status. So the queen bee secretes some pheromones. You know what are pheromones, everyone? Pheromones. Pheromones are chemicals that are secreted by one organism to either signal or to cause some change or behavioral change in the other organism. You understand? So these are chemical molecules which act as messengers, but they are secreted outside the body, just like hormones are secreted inside the body, right? And they also cause changes in behavior and physiology. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Pheromones are secreted outside the body. Have you ever seen a group of ant like moving like this? And if you keep something in between which they cannot eat, they will just avoid it and go, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you disrupt some of them here with your finger, like we all have done it as kids, right? So I used to do this, and I used to wonder that they used to get lost for, like, they seemed lost for some time, but after like very short of after a very short time they will again form the same link. Yes,
Yes, sir.
because the ant which is moving in front keeps secreting pheromones and keep making a footprint. So it's like footprints in the snow. So if one person is moving and it keeps putting footprints in the snow or in the sand, you can just follow those footprints, right?
Yes, sir.
So queen bee secretes a special pheromone which keeps the gonads of these worker bees undeveloped, and they cannot produce eggs. They cannot reproduce. So that's a check kept by the queen bee. So all the eggs are only laid by the queen bee. Now the third kind of bees are drones bees. Now what is the sex of drones?
Male.
No, yes, drones are male bees, okay, and they are fertile. They are not infertile. They can produce sperm, but all the drone bees can reproduce with whom? Can they reproduce with the worker bee?
No,
They can only reproduce with the queen bee. Is it clear?
yes.
So drone bees, their work is to, like, play protective roles, safeguard, keep for any, like, look for any danger if it's coming towards the hive, or if they found some food source somewhere, they do these very beautiful dance signaling to the worker bees, and then they go and collect the honey and come back. So drone bees are male bees and they are fertile. Now, is this hierarchy clear about the beehive? Then we can go to the sex determination part. Is the hierarchy clear?
So is this then NCRT?
Yes, so the bee, only the sexual reproduction, sorry, only the sex determination part is there in NCRT, but you need to understand this because now I'm going to tell you the mechanism. So you need to know which one is fertile and which one is infertile and why. So is this clear? The hierarchy is clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's see. So the queen bee, okay, sex is determined. So the process of sex determination, like it was the XY system, then the ZW system. This is known as haplodiploidy system. Haplodiploidy system of sex determination.
Sir, can you scroll up for a minute?
Yes, I will. So this you will not find in the book, NCRT book, but can be asked. Not exactly this, but with respect to the sex determination. So if you understand the hierarchy, then we can go to determine the sex now, how all these different bees are formed. Done?
Yes, sir. It's done, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now the system which is there in bees is called haplodiploidy system of sex determination. Now, as the name suggests, haplodiploidy, which means haploid or diploid, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
if we start, let's start with a female. Let's start with queen. So the only female bee which can reproduce is a queen bee, right? So if I start with the female bee has 32 chromosomes in the body. So female bee is diploid. This is a 2n number. So female bee, which in this case will be queen only because only queen can reproduce. So it will have 32 chromosomes. Okay. Now, how will a queen form gametes? So gametogenesis through meiosis or mitosis. It is 2n. So it will form gametes through meiosis, right? because diploid cells can do meiosis, and when it will form gametes through meiosis, the gametes will have how many chromosomes? 16 chromosomes, right? And this is the N haploidy number of the honeybee. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Clear till here? Now, this gamete, which is the egg cell, has two ways. One way is it can fertilize with a sperm. So if it fertilizes with a sperm, what will be the sperm also? Again 16, right? Haploid number.
Yes, sir.
So if it fertilizes with a sperm, it forms a diploid 32 chromosome, a diploid embryo, right?
Yes, sir.
Now this diploid embryo will always become female. So diploid are female. All the females are diploid and they are produced as a result of sexual reproduction. So write down females, they are diploid and they are produced through union of egg and sperm. Is it clear, everyone? So this is one way to produce females. Now, is it clear?
Yes.
Now, if this egg cell remains unfertilized, suppose it is not fertilized. So if it remains unfertilized, then there will be something called parthenogenesis. You know what is parthenogenesis? Parthenocarpy you have studied in chapter 2. So tell me, what is parthenogenesis? It is formation of embryo without fertilization. Is it clear? So if any egg cell remains unfertilized, through parthenogenesis, it becomes a male. So all the males in the beehive are haploids. Is it clear?
So does that mean that males produce gametes through mitosis?
Yes, perfect, beautiful. So all the males are haploid, and this is a very special case in nature. So I started with females here, right? If I start with the male, if I start with the male bee, which basically are the drones, right? So they will have to begin with 16 chromosomes in their body, right?
Yes.
And they all will be haploid. Their body, the whole body will be haploid. And then they will do gametogenesis through mitosis, like Atif very correctly pointed out. You understand, this is the special case where gametogenesis is happening through mitosis. Now this is a neat question, make a mark here. Gametogenesis in male honeybees happen through, if you do not know this, you will pick meiosis, because we always think meiosis makes gametes, right? But in honeybees, male honeybees, mitosis makes gametes. So the sperm which they will make, which is the gamete, will have 16 because it is through mitosis. So their body is also haploid and their gametes are also haploid, the sperms. Now there is only one way for this sperm to further go on, to fuse with egg cell. And when it will fuse with egg cell, the egg cell is 16, which is another haploid. And what will be the progeny? Progeny will be a female. diploid. Okay, so it will be either a worker or the next queen. Is it clear, everyone? Let me just zoom it out a little. Can you see it in one page now? I've zoomed it out a little. If it is not visible,
Yes.
I will zoom in. Okay, is it visible, right?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So this is the difference. This is the, let's draw a line here. So this is the difference between sex determination. So haplodiploidy, all haploids are males and all diploids are females. A female can give rise to a male or a female both. Through unfertilized parthenogenesis, a female can give rise to male, and through sexual reproduction, a female can give rise to a female. But males can only give rise to female in the next generation. Do you understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please draw this first carefully, and then I will tell you some interesting questions that have been asked. Take your time and draw this. This is called haplodiploidy sex determination system in nature. Interesting, no?
Yes, sir.
Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you have noted, and be careful when you are noting it, okay? Iba, Hanifa, and Atif, done?
Done, sir.
Okay,
Done.
done. Hiba?
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, perfect. Now I'll zoom it back. Okay, so this is haplodiploidy sex determination. You're clear. So either they can, so in boards, they can ask you to explain sex determination in honeybees. You can use these two flowcharts to explain it. But in entrances, they ask some complicated questions. Like one thing that you have to know is, can a male honeybee, so all the male honeybees that are there in the hive, Do the male honeybees have fathers? Do they have fathers? Think and tell. Yes or no? Will male honeybees have fathers?
No.
No. No male honeybee will ever have a father because male honeybees are produced from parthenogenesis, unfertilized egg of the mother. So male honeybees only have mothers. And can they produce sons? Can male honeybees produce sons?
No.
No. So write down the first statement. Male honeybees do not have fathers and do not produce sons. So they are fatherless and sonless. Fathers or sons. Now, second question, just to confuse you. Do male honeybees have grandfathers? Do male honeybees have grandfathers?
No.
Yes. Now you will think they do not have fathers, so they will not have grandfathers, but you forgot. They have mothers, right? And the mother
sir.
had a father. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So male honeybees have grandfathers and grandsons. Write down. They also have grandsons. Can you figure out how do they have grandsons? Because they will have daughters and their daughters will produce more sons, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the trick confusion. So male honeybees do not have fathers and sons, but male honeybees have grandfathers and grandsons. Okay. Of course, they will have grandmothers and granddaughters and mothers and daughters. So that's not asked. Now let's come to females. Do females have fathers and sons?
Yes.
Yes. Do females have mothers and daughters?
Yes.
Yes. Do females have grandmothers and granddaughters?
Yes.
Yes. Females have all. Just write down. Don't get confused. Is sex determination clear to everyone?
Yes.
All these three types of sex determination. Apart from that, I'm giving you a homework. So this is not in NCERT, but I have seen 2 questions specifically. Sorry, what did I choose? Oh, I choose them. So this is your homework. Write down your homework. Apart from the haplodiploidy and the chromosome based sex determination, there is also other types of sex determination. So you have to go and figure out what are the other types of sex determinations apart from the ones discussed above. This is your first question, and I'm giving you a hint. One you will find will be temperature dependent sex determination. This happens in reptiles. So this has been asked twice in NEET. Temperature dependent sex determination. So this you have to focus on. So in the next class, which is day after tomorrow, you will come with answers. So how does temperature dependent sex determination work? Okay. Will you find it, everyone?
Yes.
Please note down the homework, and if anyone has any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we'll end the class here. So in the next class, I'll start with Mendelian and non-Mendelian disorders, the pedigree analysis and the chromosomal aberrations. That is the last part for this chapter.